While many of us, the public, the media, lawmakers from both parties are focusing intently on the Middle East, China is quietly and patiently building up both its military and its territorial reach. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin takes a look tonight from the Pentagon.
The head of the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet raised alarm bells when he called it the Great Wall of Sand. Satellite images show China has essentially built a series of islands in the middle of the Spratly Chain over the past year, an aggressive move to control Pacific navigation routes, according to critics.
And what it's doing is preparing the way for military bases, especially airstrips, because China wants to exclude other nations from the South China Sea.
We and many other countries are deeply concerned about some of the activities China is undertaking. Its opaque defense budget, its actions in cyberspace, and its behavior in places like the South China Sea raise a number of serious questions.
Defense Secretary Ash Carter arrived in Japan today and will later visit South Korea to reassure Asian allies that the U.S. has not forgotten them, as Washington's focus remains on the Middle East, ISIS, and nuclear talks with Iran. He attempted a note of conciliation before leaving.
The U.S. and China are not allies, but we don't have to be adversaries.
But U.S. allies may not buy the U.S. pivot.
This goes back to the Syrian civil war, when President Obama declared a red line but was not willing to enforce it. So now you hear diplomats both in Tokyo and in Seoul ask whether the U.S. will defend them.
With China's military growing at double-digit rates, National Intelligence Chief James Clapper was less diplomatic in recent remarks to Congress.
China is expanding and accelerating the buildup of the outposts in the South China Sea to include stationing for their ships and potential airfields. More broadly, they continue an aggressive military modernization program directly aimed at what they consider to be our strengths.
A Navy admiral at the Pentagon today warned that China now has 3 ballistic missile submarines capable of hitting the U.S. On a positive note, he added China has a no first use policy. Brett.
Jennifer Griffin live at the Pentagon. Jennifer,